Guys, what's up? It's Alex again with another video. One of you asked me to give a more detailed introduction of the several interfaces that TradeZero offers for their platform, for their trading platform. I myself am using Zero Web, um, and I honestly I have never used Zero Free, and there are several very good reasons why I don't advise, why I wouldn't recommend it for day traders. I will go into that a little bit later. So I will focus this comparison today on Zero Web and Zero Pro, both of which I will show. Let's start with the basics of these three offers. First of all, once you open your TradeZero account, you have to fund it to be able to choose between these platforms. Before you fund it, you do not get to choose between these platforms. That's the first thing. So first you open your account. Now I myself, my account is one for foreigners, for foreigners, for people not resident, not U.S. citizens or not residents of the United States. And for those, there is no limit. There is a limit on account opening for U.S. citizens. I'm not aware of these. If you are U.S. citizens, go check their website and you will learn everything about that on the in the FAQ. There's all the information in the FAQs. Okay, that being said, let me give you a quick overview of the differences of the three different interfaces. Now, obviously, the most obvious is the price. Zero Free does not cost anything, whereas Zero Web costs 59 and Zero Pro costs 79. The advantage of Zero Web and Zero Pro later on is that if you trade enough, eventually it becomes free as well. So Zero Web becomes free after 80,000 shares. Now remember, 80,000 shares means 80,000 shares traded. If you buy 1,000 shares and you sell 1,000 shares, that is 2,000 shares traded. So this is not too difficult to reach if you are a day trader. Same with 100,000 shares. It's just a little bit more additional on that. Right now, I am personally still practicing, so I'm trading with very small trade sizes. For example, 100 shares, 200 shares. So I'm not going to reach 80,000 in a month. Once I get better, I will definitely change to the Zero Pro platform for the several reasons. These three different platforms obviously have very different not functions, have very different options that you can, no, I shouldn't use options, very different offers. I'm sorry, I had a brain stuck, my brain got stuck there for a moment. So talk about Zero Free real quick. You only have NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, and Amex to trade on. That is okay. I don't know, honestly, I don't know what Total View is. It is an additional option in Zero Web. And only Zero Pro offers options. So if you're interested in trading any of this, options or whatever Total View stands for, then you're going to have to stick with one of the other ones. However, NASDAQ, NYSE, and Amex are the major ones and usually give you enough enough stock options to choose from. The big disadvantage of Zero Free is you do not have level 2 and you do not have hotkeys. Essentially, you're going to look at one chart. You're going to look at the different, essentially, I guess there's a little bit of level 2. There's the offers of that particular stock you're looking at. But you do not get to look. You do not get to look at different charts at the same time. You have to look at the daily chart or hourly chart or whatever chart you're looking at. Given that, it is really not useful for day traders, for people that trade intraday, for who seconds count. If you're looking to just choose a bunch of stocks to invest in and hold for a long time, by all means, go for zero free. In that sense, you don't really need all that information. You can take your time in choosing and selecting your stocks. You can take your time in choosing your buy-in. So then you don't need hotkeys, and you don't need level 2, and you don't need that many other features that the other platform interfaces offer. So zero free is good for that, but if you are a day trader like I am, zero free is simply not enough for you. That being said, let's do a quick comparison here from this page between Zero Web and Zero Pro. Essentially, there's only the options option that is available in Zero Pro that is not available in Zero Web. Now, I personally, I'm not interested in options for now, so for me, Zero Web is enough. Now, on the more user interface related things, Zero Web is still a web-based interface. So let me just quickly give you an overview. This is my Zero Web. It is browser based. You can move the you can move it around the level 2. The market hasn't opened yet, that's why you don't see any information here. You can move it around. Oh, SCYX finally broke 145. It's been stuck at 130.35 all day yesterday. Good, interesting. In any case, this is, you have a watch list, you have news. Okay, this is okay. The thing is, I'm limited to 4 level 2 windows and 4 charts. Now, because if I don't know if I can showcase this very quickly now, but let's say we have SXTC here on my watch list, and that would be this window. You can see here I have A and A. This means this is group A. There are 5 groups you can set, and you can make 5 watch lists according to those groups. Now I only need 1 watch list because I choose my stocks intraday at the very beginning of my trading day. I choose the stocks I might trade, and I'll just put them on my watch list. And then after, I don't save the watches. I just make a new watch list every day. That being said, I only use 2 level 2s because I only get to look at 4 charts. And what I wanted to show you is, okay, here you see SCYX and SCYX. And this one is for B. But if I click to change the charts from SCYX to SXTC, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go. 9's almost 10 seconds it took to change from the previous stock to the new stock. So I don't know if this is my internet or if this is my computer, but it does take 10 seconds to download the data for this new stock. That is quite frankly too long if you want to trade efficiently. That's why I have another 1 minute. In this case, it's a 5-minute chart. I switch this constantly between 1 and 5 minutes in case I'm watching 2 trades at the same time. So in that case, I can still quickly react to this one. It's still not ideal because I would like to have at least 6 charts open at one given time. I would like to at least watch 2 stocks on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and full daily chart to be able to just see an opportunity when it arises and react immediately. I can't do that here. I'm very limited in that regard. Another limit of this layout is that these windows, the chart and everything, the size is fixed. The size is fixed. I cannot change. I can move it around, obviously, as you saw, but the size is fixed. Now, it being browser-based, you can extend your browser window to more than 1 monitor. So if you have several monitors, you can kind of like phase it out. For example, I could put these 2 windows I could put on the other monitor. That's okay, but still, it's not quite enough. That it doesn't offer quite enough. Now, a little bit more detailed in terms of what the platforms offer. In the zero free, actually zero free, one more thing, the chart does not have many indicators. Apparently it does not have, I don't know if it mentions, I haven't tried it yet, so I don't really know, but it doesn't mention any indicators in the introduction. Here I have some indicators, not too many. You can look, I can show you. I have the single moving average, exponential moving average, VWAP, and PDC. I can set the periods of these, of the SMA and EMA. However, I can only have one at one given time. Again, I would like to have 3 exponential moving averages at any given time to properly assess resistance and support levels. I don't have that option yet. It's a little bit limited, but at least I have the single moving average and the exponential moving average and the VWAP, so I can set a couple of things. I can also draw support and resistance levels if I want to. Unfortunately, they are not labeled, so it's a little bit, you know, I can move them around, that's nice, but it's a little bit difficult to assess the price. I mean, I can put them here and then I have it here, but it would be much easier if I can put, like, for example, one short line here with a label, one short line here with a label. I also really don't know how to get rid of this one. How do I delete these goddamn, sorry, I shouldn't say goddamn, my apologies. I don't know how to delete that, so that's another thing. Just move it out of the way for now. Yeah, these are the indicators that that you have, so it's kind of limited. Now, moving on to the Pro platform, that, of course, is a software-based interface. So you download the software, and because it's software-based, it has a lot more it's a lot more customizable than the web interface. So, for example, simple thing, I can change the sizes of my windows. There are limits on how small I can make it, but I can have the charts and the windows as small or as big as I want to. So I can really customize my space management here. This does make it very useful. Obviously, I'm not registered for this, so you don't see any data here right now. But there are some things that I can still but yeah, I can still explain to you a couple of things. So again, because it's software based, if you have several monitors, you can just get the software across several monitors, and then you can add additional charts or level 2s or whatever to the other monitor. Now here you don't, or the limits is increased for level 2 and charts. You can open at one given time, you can open up to 6 level 2s and up to 10 charts. So here this would be my example layout. I have a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and a daily chart, for example, or maybe 5 minute daily and 1 minute chart. That is possible. So it would be possible to look at, for example, in my kind of setup, if I want to look at 1 minute, 5 minute, and daily chart of the stocks, I can look at 3 stocks simultaneously. That really would help, and also it would improve my reaction timing a lot. Now I don't know how long it takes to load charts here. I will find out later, but even if it takes 10 seconds like the one, given that I have 3 windows open at the same time, I can probably still react quickly enough. Also to point out, there are many more indicators. Okay, I can't look at any indicators right now, but there are up to 50 or more than 50 indicators in this ZeroPro platform, as the website mentions. So I believe you can have several exponential moving averages. You can have maybe Bollinger Bands, all kinds of indicators, whatever you might look, RSI, MACD, all these things, whatever you need. It probably has these, so that is a lot better. You can really customize or choose the indicators that work for you. You also have the drawing option here, zoom in, zoom out, line. Of course, I can't do anything right now, but you have zoom in, zoom out, and line options. What else is there? Right, okay. Several other functions that this one has and offers that the Zero Web platform does not offer. There is, for example, apart from the level 2 where you would have bids, asks, and recent trades, you can have a time and sales watch list where you watch, where you can really research time and sales of a particular stock over a longer period of time. This can be useful in assessing your entry and exit points and possible resistance points. It could be useful. It's not something I use. I mean, obviously, I don't have it in Zero Web, but even the timelines, I don't really use it that much. So for me right now, it's okay to not have this, although I can see how that would help. Probably the biggest factor, the biggest advantage that the Pro platform offers, as opposed to all others, are scanners. There are two inbuilt scanners that the Pro platform offers. There is the high-low ticker, which lets you know if all the stocks that have reached daily and yearly highs and lows. So this is really useful for a momentum trader like I am. This is really useful if you want to react quickly. It's really useful to identifying the stocks you might trade on any given day. So you have a list of the stocks that are rising and falling in real time, which is very, very useful. Okay, and the other scanner would be the top list that is based on volume. NYC most active, percent change up. I see. You can make a top list where you choose among a list of options. Let me just get this window here. This is the top list, and these are the options you can choose from. So there are things like the most active, like highest, like highest volume. Now, volume, of course, is not really interesting. I trade stocks with generally lower than like a lower float, a much lower float than the bigger stocks. So volume is not really interesting to me. Of course, stocks like Apple and Facebook will have an enormous volume every day, but enormous volume also means that there is a very low chance of it rising and falling quickly. Float, I just mentioned float. Let me just quickly explain to you in case you haven't heard of float yet. Float is the amount of shares available on a given stock on the entire market. So if a stock has a float of, say, 10 million shares, then it means there are 10 million shares on the market being traded by traders. Their floats range from like the really extremely low float stocks have 200,000, 300,000 shares available on the market. That is extremely low. A more medium size would be from, say, 1 million to 20 million, or even like between up to 40 million is kind of like still a medium range float. The biggest float, the biggest stocks like Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Google, your like these big companies have billions of shares available on the market. You have maybe 20 billion shares available on the market. Now, the thing is, with very high floats, you obviously have, if there's 10 billion shares of a float available of a stock available on the market, then at any given price there will be many buyers and sellers fighting at that given price. There's always generally a certain percentage of buyers and of traders at a certain price level, and that percentage probably doesn't change across the stocks. But if there are billions of shares available, the size of that percentage is much bigger. So, like, let's say a stock costs $100 and there's 20 billion shares available. Then maybe there's, say, 1 million traders, or more than that probably, trading the stock right now at $100. So if the price should go higher, then there have to be like probably 1 million or more sellers to be bought up by the buyers, and only to get maybe 1 cent or 10 cents higher. So if you think of it that way, the big float stocks move extremely slowly they might have a good looking chart, but they might move from 100 to $100.50 in 30 minutes. And that is way too long for momentum style trading. A lower float stock, when there is only say 1,000 or maybe 10,000 traders trading a stock at a certain price, then this will be bought up very quickly, and then it can rise quickly or fall quickly depending on what you want to do. All right, now I think if you are interested, you probably looked at this list up and down already. Let me get this window back here. This used to work better. Okay. Where was I? Yes, the scanners. The scanners do help. Of course, I use external scanners, and I do need them to select my stocks. Otherwise, I would not be able to scan through the entire stock market by myself. So I use stock scanners. There are several options out there. I also know that several platforms offer this. I think there's a platform called Think or Swim that offers their own customizable scanners on platform. That would be useful. Another option is, of course, external scanners, which are platform independent, like Trade Ideas offers these, and there's probably others as well. I get my scans in the chat room that I have subscribed to, and they use Trade Ideas. So yeah, I don't really need these platform built-in tickers right now, but it might be interesting in the future. Also, one more thing, I don't know if I can show that. I don't know if I can show that. Let me quickly check. System, alarm settings, high load. Conditional orders, yes, here we go. I can set conditional orders. That's an option I do not have in Zero Web. A conditional order is, for example, you say, I don't have time to watch this stock, but I see there is like a resistance level at $10. So platform, whenever this stocks surpasses $10, I expect it's gonna rise higher. So buy a certain amount of shares, and then sell them at a specific higher price. You can set these orders: buy, sell, short, cover. If you want to do that. So that is something that could be useful. It's not available on the Zero Web platform, but given that my stock trading usually is decided and finished in minutes, I don't really need that. So it is useful, but it depends on your specific needs. In my case, until I like as soon as I start making more money on this platform here, I will definitely change to the Zero Pro platform, because mostly because of the charts. Level 2s, the more charts I can open up at the same time, and just the size that I can perfectly customize. So that is it, guys. I hope this recording was informing, and you got a good overview of the different platforms. No, where am I going? And if you have any more questions, then do let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. And if you do choose this platform, enjoy your trading on it. All right, goodbye.